not finna be dry disrespectful for what? Like, what is your issue? And if you have an issue, like, speak up. Hey y'all, it is your girl Lala's World, and today I'm back with another video. So this is gonna be a different type of video because I'm doing a story time. Let's get into it. I'm just gonna make one disclaimer. I don't have beef with this girl. Like, I don't have beef with her anymore. She just had me fucked up that day. That's it. That's all. Don't know what I'm gonna call this story time, but without further ado, let's just get into the story. This happened like my freshman year of college, and this was like spring. Yeah, this was like spring semester. If y'all didn't know, I went to the illustrious Prairie View A&M University, and I got my bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. So yes, outside of me looking cute and all, outside of being Lala's World, I'm an engineer, 9 to 5. Laura got a little bit of a brain on her, just a little. That's a little bit of a brain. I was going to school to be an engineer, or I did go to school to be an engineer. I did go to school to be an engineer. On this particular night, me and Irene were studying for our Cal 2 test. Now, if you've ever taken Cal 2, for all my engineers or like people in STEM, y'all know that Cal 2 is hard as shit. Okay, I don't know what, like, I've taken a lot of different types of maths, but I just feel like Cal 2 is a different ballpark. I don't know what type of crack Cal 2 is on, but it's a lot. Basically, the way we used to study is, it used to be like this. Like, one class would take the test, and then like, I don't want to come and expose myself. I don't want to incriminate myself, but people, you know, they take a picture of the test and then they would like send it to whoever they needed to send it to, and then people would like practice the test. So basically, you're gonna go in and take the test off the dome, allegedly. Now, me and Irene were studying, and I want y'all to keep in mind that she brought her roommate at that time with her. We're not gonna name her roommate. We're just gonna say she brought her roommate. Keep that in mind. Like, while I'm trying to study for my Cal 2 test, the organization that I was a part of, they were hosting a gala the next day where we were studying. So I'm not going to give too much about where, like, different buildings at Prairie View A&M University, but in this particular building, it's the building, and then the room we were in was a really big like study room. Everybody used to be in there studying, getting things done. My organization that I was a part of, they were also trying to set up in there as well. They were trying to, like, you know, basically set up like the balloons and stuff, and then they was gonna like take the tables apart the next day because they had reserved the room for the next day, but they were trying to get as much labor done like as possible, as much as they could that night. So because I was a part of the freshman executive board, I didn't hold a position. I was just a committee member. I was trying to help and also at the same time study. I'm like blowing a balloon and trying to figure out why x squared something, like how is it gonna equal cosine? That's not making sense. So like at some point Irene was like, Laura, like, I'm gonna be real, you trying to do 2 things at once. Like, you got a test tomorrow. It's other people that's like setting this bitch up. Like, you're gonna be okay. So eventually I stopped trying to help them set up because I'm like, oh yeah, I really do need to study for real because Cal 2 is whooping my ass. It's actually killing me. We're studying, and then we get to a problem that we don't know. So there's other people in the big study room. Okay, I don't want to call it the big study room. It's called the Success Center, okay? So there's other people studying in the Success Center, and they're also studying for this Cal 2 test. So the way the Success Center is, it's like, it's a big like room, like with tables and stuff and computers like on the side, and then there's also like little private rooms. I want to say there was like 4 private rooms on, like, if this is a box, if the room is a box, like there's the computers on the side, you got the desk lined up, and then the cubbies are on, I mean the private rooms are like on this wall. So there's people in the private rooms studying for the test as well. I go in there and I go ask them about this one problem. I'm like, hey y'all, like, do y'all know how to do this or whatever? They're like, nah. What am I gonna name him? We're gonna name him Lil TJ. They're like, nah, we don't know how to do it, but Lil TJ does. So I'm like, okay, where's Lil TJ? And they're like, not gonna lie, everybody in that room was like, not gonna lie, we don't know where Lil TJ went. We don't know where he went, but he knows how to do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. Me and Irene, we start looking for Lil TJ. So the Success Center is on the second floor of this engineering building. So it's the first floor and the second floor. So we start on the second floor. So we go down the hallway this way and we like look through the computer lab. We look through the different other classes to see if he's in there. He's not there. Then we end up turning around and there's this. So the Success Center is here. There's one last room on the end, and that's like what you would consider like the, I want to say, senior design room. If you're an engineer, you know what senior design is. Basically, it's like a class where you do like a big ass project and then you present it. Yeah, that's what they used to call it, like the senior design room. But nobody really used it for that for real. It was more of like a study room. The last room, right, like, so the little senior design room, I peek my head in there and I see, we're gonna name them Lil Baby and Jada. So before we dive into it, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a synopsis on both of these characters that we have in this story. Lil Baby, I met him summer 2018 because we were in a summer bridge program. So basically at PV, they have like summer bridge programs where you can take classes and get credit for it before you start your freshman year. We were a part of the engineering like summer bridge program. Lil Baby was cool with everybody. Lil Baby is what you would consider like a class clown. He was cool with everybody. Like everybody kind of knew him. Same thing with Jada. I knew Jada from the summer bridge program because we all did the summer bridge program. Now, me and Jada are both chemical engineering majors. So I have a lot of I had and did have a lot of classes with her. Like I was gonna see her. Like if I kept up with the degree plan, I was gonna see her. A little bit about Lil Jada. Jada, like, don't get me wrong, very pretty girl. Like a lot of the niggas wanted her. Very smart, but she was kind of like to herself. How would I describe her? Like, I wouldn't say to herself, but like, I just knew like me and her probably wouldn't run in the same circles just because of like personality and things of that sort. But just because you don't necessarily like mesh with people doesn't mean like, you know, you just have to be mean to people or like, you know, like y'all have to have beef or nothing. You just know people, you just not gonna run, like y'all not gonna run in the same circles with each other. But the only reason why we were like, I guess, connected to each other is because we had the same discipline of engineering. That's a little bit of a synopsis of both of them. So when I walked into that senior design room, I see that Jada and Lil Baby is rolling up silverware. So Jada was also a part of the organization that I was a part of too, and she was on the freshman executive board as well. I want to say she held a position, and I want to say she was like the vice president. I think, yeah, she was the vice president of the freshman executive board. So the organization we were a part of, they had like a freshman executive board and they had like a regular executive board. I walk in there and I'm like, oh, like I was just like, oh. And I looked at Lil Baby and I was confused because Lil Baby wasn't in the organization. So I was like shocked that he's in this bitch rolling silverware for the event. So I'm like, oh, hey, Lil Baby. I was like, oh, they got you doing community service, being funny. That's all I said. And he laughed it off. And mind you, I want y'all to know Irene is with me as well. Keep this in mind. I leave out the room because clearly Lil TJ not in there. So as I'm leaving out, Irene tapped me and is like, hey, do you and Jada got issues or something? I was like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, why? Like, what's up? She's like, I'm gonna be like, Irene's like, I'm not gonna lie, like, she had rolled her eyes when you made that comment. I'm looking like, I don't know. Something about me is, I will never know if you have an issue with me if you don't address it with me. Like, I'm gonna be real. Sometimes I just don't pick up on subliminals. I just don't. Like, I really don't. Unless I'm like hyper fixated on it, or like I just know that you would do that to me, then I'll like fixate on it. But if not, I just don't pay attention to all of that, because I don't know, I just feel like it's just unnecessary. I just feel like my brain like just kind of like filters it out. I was like, oh, for real? I was like, I mean, I ain't got no beef with her. I didn't know she had an issue with me, so I left it alone. Me and Irene end up going back to studying for it because we couldn't find little TJ. So we try to like, we're like, okay, we're gonna figure out this problem by ourselves. Sorry, y'all. I want to say maybe like after 30 minutes, Jada and Lil Baby walk into the Success Center. So I turn around, I see Lil Baby, and I was like, again, reiterated my joke, and I said, oh, you're done with your community service? And as soon as I said that, Jada rolled her eyes and walked out of the Success Center. And she mumbled something underneath her breath. Now this time, I caught it. Now this time, it's time for me to act a clown. Before anybody could even say anything to me, y'all, this is what I did, I swear on my life. I picked up my phone, I looked at my phone and seen that it was 2:14 a.m. in the morning. In the midst of me looking at the time, Irene was like, did you see that? I said, yeah. I got up and I walked over back to the senior design room because I was finna ask her like what the issue was. Now, here's my thought process at the time. I can't go over there and start screaming at her, right? Because I feel like if this story gets out, or like if she starts to explain this story, I want everybody to know that I gave her a chance before I started to cut up, for real. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go on a chill thing, but I'm gonna let her know, like, don't do no bullshit, you know? Irene got up with me too, right? So I walked over there and I was like, I walked to the room and I said, hey, Jada, we got an issue? Or like, cause I'm confused. Now, mind you, the way I said it, it was like in a very joking manner. I was like, we got an issue or what? Like, what's going on? And so Jada is like,
no, Laura, we don't got no issue. Like, we don't got no issue.
I said, okay, well, why'd you say that slick ass shit underneath your breath? And she was like,
it's late, like, I'm trying to get this done, like, just go.
I looked at her dead in her shit and I said, oh, okay. As I'm walking out, I said, oh, okay, because at the end of the day, I do fight. And I walked away. I didn't catch you when you had rolled your eyes the first time, but now that I caught you, it's like, now I gotta take care of that. I ain't no scary bitch. Like, if it's pressure, let me know. So I walked away, but Irene still stayed. So Irene is like, hey, like, you got like, she's like, yeah, what's the problem? Because Irene was like, nah, I definitely did see you roll your eyes. I heard her first time. And so basically, Jada is like, I don't understand why she talking to Lil Baby. Oh, guys, is this not a free country? I can't talk to the nigga? Are you dumb? Like, bro, what? And so Irene already on the same time. Like, mind you, I didn't know this. So this is what Irene is like reiterating to me. So Irene is looking at Jada like, is Lil Baby God or something? And so I guess Lil Baby was like laughing or whatever. And she was like, no. Then Irene was like, does Laura like make you feel insecure or something? And this is what she said, and I quote to Irene.
Trust me, Laura could never make me insecure.
Hey, what's going on here? What are you trying to say? First of all,
you got me fucked up.
First of all, don't nobody want your nigga, bro. Like, trust me, I don't want your nigga. Number two, your nigga doesn't want you. 3, you're worried about me. And knowing what I know now, he definitely wasn't worried about me. But I'm not gonna say who he was worried about. I'll tell you that much. And what are you trying to say? What do you mean I could never make you insecure? Bitch, God ain't put me on this earth to make you insecure. Like, that's not my job here. Like, what are you trying to say? I feel like she was slick trying to be funny, and I'm like, ain't shit funny around here. Knowing what I know now, I feel like she just didn't feel like I was serious. Like, I was like serious and like, oh shit, y'all, what the hell? I feel like because she thought I played a lot, I feel like she just didn't think I was a serious person. And I feel like because she was on her shit for real, like she just felt like, you know, she was the better option. But it didn't need to be a comparison because I don't want your nigga. Like, no, he is not my nigga. I don't want him to be my nigga, okay? And secondly, you talking about so I could never make you insecure? I'm like, bro, if I really tried with all my might, I could bag this nigga. I'll be sparing you bitches. You know what I'm saying? I'm just humble. Like, and at that time I was really humble. Like, I'm really sparing you bitches. Like, if I really try, I could bag that nigga. Who is this nigga? I said, who, Lil Baby? He ain't shit. Like, this is an easy nigga. Like, I don't, like, you making it seem like you got a nigga that is untouchable. I'm like, no, this nigga likes to get touched. Please. That kind of blew me. And I just feel like she just counted me out. Like, I feel like she just felt like, who the fuck does this bitch think she is? Laura? My name is Laura. I feel like I'm Laura.
Got it.
And this is another thing that I just didn't like. This is very off topic, but this is one thing I just really didn't like about a lot of the people that was like in my department. I feel like they felt like they was just so fucking smart. And I feel like because they felt like they had big GPA or like better GPAs, like they was just gonna like be better off in life. I'm like, that's not how the real world works. Like, when we all graduated, like, we're all gonna start at the bottom. That's number one. Number two, who are you to tell somebody that they're serious and they're not serious? Number one, I may play a lot, but before anything else, I want everybody to know I like to play, but I will also get shit done. That's just me. Number two, I am Nigerian. And if you don't know anything about Nigerians, I'm finna give you a little bit of a history lesson. One thing about Nigerians, we are top of the top. We are creme de la creme. And we let everybody know that we're creme de la creme. There's a saying in Nigeria and it goes, we know they carry last. And that simply means like in everything that we do, like we're gonna be on top. Two, no, we're on three. Three, when my parents gave birth to me, they knew like I was gonna reach the stars. So I'm just gonna run down a little bit of accolades on my parents. So we're gonna start with my dad. My dad is an anesthesiologist and he has a specialty in pain management. He's a doctor. Now let's go over to my mom. My mom has a bachelor's degree in nursing. My mom has a master's degree in nursing. She has a MBA. And then let's really add on. And recently she just graduated with her PhD in nursing. Do you think that they thought that they were settling for less when it came to me? No. Whole time you're trying to count me out, and it's like life is just forcing me to be top of the top. Yeah, you might have the higher GPA, but I promise you, me and you was gonna graduate on the same day. And we did. I felt some type of way when Irene came back and told me all of that, because I'm like, I didn't even know I had issue with this bitch. Like, why the fuck is you, like, what's your issue? Like you good? Is you cool? I didn't know we had beef, but I guess we got beef now. I'm a little heated, but it's like I'm trying to like brush it off because it's really not even that deep. So me and Irene get back to studying. After a while, everybody ends up coming back into the Success Center, right? Keep that. Remember when I said Irene had her roommate there? Irene's roommate, what are we gonna call him? We're gonna call him Biggie. So Irene's roommate asks Biggie like, hey, like, what is this? Like, what are y'all setting up for? Like, what event is happening? Biggie says, oh, this event is for the College of Engineering. All of a sudden, Jada butts in, and she's like, no, the gala is supposed to be for the organization. So then Irene butts in and she was like, but who was talking to you? So I laughed because I think Irene is funny, and I think what Irene said was funny too. So I start laughing. Y'all. Y'all. As soon as like I laughed, why Jada Waiter gonna say,
Laura, you know you wouldn't be doing all of this if your friends wasn't here.
huh? Excuse me? Wait, pause. Run that back. The way I looked at her, it's like as soon as she said it, it's like I said, oh hell no, like now I gotta really turn up on this bitch. I said, this bitch think, in my mind I'm like, oh, this bitch think I'm a punk. Now you playing with me, and now I gotta show you who the fuck I am. So I turned to her, I said, you think I'm a punk? Like, she was like,
no, she was like, I just feel like you wouldn't be doing all of that, like, if your friends weren't here.
like basically saying I need an audience. I said, baby, I ain't never needed an audience for shit. I said, you might have been getting away with saying shit slick underneath your breath, but I caught you today, and I'm gonna address it today. I get the going back and forth with her. I'm like, oh, is you dumb? Like, da-da-da-da. I said, I would really beat your ass in here. Like, do not play with me. Like, you trying to be funny, you trying to be slick, and ain't shit slick. Not even your fucking ponytail in your fucking head. Like, ain't shit slick. Why the fuck is you playing with me? And so now she wants to take the pretty girl route, and now she wants to take the sophisticated girl route, talking about some,
I'm not gonna fight you, like, I have too much to lose.
I said, ho, both of us got too much to lose. And right now, I just don't give a fuck. I never had beef with you, but it seemed like you've been having issues with me, but you've been slick, like you've been trying to be slick about it. Now you mad because I caught your ass today and I'm calling your ass out on it. I don't fuck with that. So we're going back and forth. We're going back and forth. And I'm like, yo, I'll really beat this bitch up. Like, I don't care. Like, mind you, we are in the Success Center. In the engineering building. Guys, like, very unserious. But at this time, I just didn't care. Like, you're not finna play with me because you trying to prove a point. Now I feel like you needed an audience. Fuck is you talking about? So Biggie is trying to diffuse the situation, but I low-key feel like Biggie was like being aggressive towards me and not towards Jada Waiter. And I feel like it had everything to do with like, nah, Laura, like, I know what you could do, and it's like, it's not that deep. But I'm like, nah, it is that deep. It's just like, just cause y'all feel like Jada Waiter is pretty, and just cause y'all feel like Jada Waiter so fucking smart, does not mean she gonna get away with being disrespectful. This bitch tried to play me. Like, who is she? Like, who the fuck is Jada Waiter? Like, and I feel like he just targeted everything towards me, and I'm like, that shit's just not fair. Then, guys, Lil Baby want to buck up and now he want to be 10 toes down behind his girl. So Lil Baby starts saying,
ain't nobody gonna touch her, you let duckhead assholes. Ain't nobody gonna touch her, you let duckhead assholes.
I said, wait a minute. I'm like, so now you want to act like her nigga? Now you want to act like you like her? After you've been fucking on other bitches? Now you want to be ride or die and you don't need the keys? And she gonna, I said, that's got that ass and pop it like a sorry. I'm so sorry. So now, because like, mind you, from my impersonation, y'all now know that he's from Louisiana. I'm not gonna say like where, but you know, y'all get it. So now Irene's roommate bucks up because she like, wait, hold on. She's from Louisiana too. So she buck up and she's like, bro, like, you're not supposed to be talking to women like that. Like, this not your fight to fight. Let them duke it out if they need to, or let them argue it out, but it's not your place to be bucking up at her. So now, Lil Baby and Irene's roommate are getting into it. And so she's like, I'm from such and such place. I'll get niggas down here to really show you what's good. Like, they are going back and forth. And he's like, hey, ain't nobody worried about your people. Like, bro, this is a lot. Like, a lot is really going on. And so, again, they're going back at it, and me and Jada Waiter is going back at it. And so, finally, like, I can't remember who really, like, deaded it for real, but I want to say it was Biggie who kind of just, like, was like, man, he's, like, Biggie is manhandling me. Like, he's trying to push me out the way, and I just really wasn't fucking with that, because I'm just like, oh, you think because I can beat her ass that like I'm the aggressor. I said, but y'all didn't see her when she was really popping her shit for real. And when she was talking shit, like, why was she talking shit? And I didn't start with her. She started with me. Y'all niggas is just mad because I will finish her tonight. I feel like the shit that she did was very lame. And so Biggie is manhandling me. He's like, bro, just stop, woo, woo. So, you know what? I said, you know what? Fine. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I grabbed my stuff and I just walked all the way back to my dorm because I was so pissed at the situation. Because I just felt like, I just felt like she got away with trying to be slick and she got away with being disrespectful and trying to play me. I ended up just going home. I didn't even study no more because brain is not even in the right place to even study. I'm one of them people, like, once it's done, it's done. Like, once my brain is out of commission, it's done. Like, I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care. The next day, I get up. I go take my test. That bitch was hard than a motherfucker. I said, damn, should have studied. After I left my test, I remember it was, mind you, at that time, I was on the freshman, like I was a committee member on the freshman executive board. And I was interviewing for a position for the regular executive board for the next school year. So after I finished my test, it was 2 people in the organization that was on the executive board. So I guess they heard about what happened. So they asked me about it. They asked me about what happened. And I basically told them, like, yeah, this is what happened. Me, I'm a very honest person. Regardless of if I was going to get the position or not, I'm a very honest person. I low-key think that, I can't remember if we had already did. I think we had already did, like, our interviews, right? But I didn't know if I got the position that I, like, you know, applied for or not. So basically they were just trying to see what the tea was. And I think the reason why they were trying to see what the tea was is because the position that I ended up getting and the position that Jada ended up getting, we ended up being in the same zone underneath, like, I want to say we were underneath the vice president. I guess they were trying to figure it out because they just didn't want a situation where, like, they would have to switch the positions around because we couldn't work cohesively with each other. But I basically told them, like, nah, it's cool. Like, I said what I said and it's done. Like, I'm not gonna bring it back up. Like, I'm not like that. I said what I said. I'm not bringing it back up. On my end, I'm not bringing it back up. So they was like, all right, cool. So yes, I went back home and I chilled and then I got ready for the event. Obviously, I knew she was gonna be there. I ain't say nothing to her, like, and she just wasn't gonna say nothing to me. Duh. So after the event is done, like, we end up going home, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. Fast forward, I want to say 2 weeks later. Y'all remember, me and this girl is the same discipline of engineering. So we have classes with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna see this girl. Like, it doesn't matter. But I'm just one of those people, like, I already said what I said. Like, I don't have beef with you, but just know, like, me and you not cool. But I'm not gonna be stirring the pot. I remember we were in a math lab class. So if you're an engineer right now or you don't know, basically, like, I don't know if every school is like this, but like PV engineering, like, they have for like calculus, I want to say for the calculus classes, they had like a, what do you call them classes? I forgot what they're called. Like, it's a restoration, I can't remember what they're called, but basically you have the math class and then you have like a class where, like, it's like ×2, but it's like you kind of go in deep with the class. So it's like we had the Cal 2 class and then we had the math lab class. It's called something else, but I just can't think of it off the top of my head. So I was in this Cal 2 math lab class. So I was in there, I sat down or whatever, we learning. Towards the end of the class, Jada is sitting in front of me, right? So Jada turns around to me and she's like,
hey, Laura, I just wanted to let you know, like, hey, I just wanted to clear the air because, you know, we're about to be in the same zone for the organization. I just wanted to, like, reach out and make sure, like, it's not gonna be no beef or no issues.
I literally looked at her. I said, nah, we good. Like, I don't got no issues. Like, the situation is done. I just feel like that was a half-ass apology. Like, I feel like she wanted to look like the more mature person, but the more mature thing to do was apologize for doing bullshit. Cause I wouldn't have gotten out of character if you didn't try to punk me, or if you didn't try to talk shit underneath your breath. And I caught it, you know what I'm saying? It was very dry what you did, and then you got mad at the result because you didn't think I was gonna catch what you did. And so I was like, nah, we good. Like, I already addressed what I needed to address. Like, it's good. And so she like turns around. And yeah, that was it. So that was it. Like, we let bygones be bygones. We did end up being in the same zone for the next following year. Hell, I don't know if I want to say this, but just know, like, we ended up moving through like the course together because we had classes, like, we're in the same discipline, like, all the way up until senior year. And yeah, again, I do not have beef with the girl. She just had me fucked up one day, and I just had to let her know, like, you're not gonna play with me like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If y'all want more, let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow all of my social medias. They will be in the description bar down below. And yeah, I love you guys. Mwah.